Hello everyone, I'm Daishi's mother. Today, I recommend a flower type of latte flower to you. This pattern, suitable for knitting hats and clothes for babies. The pattern has a feature, just use a little more thread. It takes a little more than normal. 6 needles and 12 rows is a complete set of patterns. The pattern is relatively simple. There's more repetition, and I'm going to show you how the pattern works. If this pattern circle branch is directly a multiple of 6, what if it's a slice? Multiples of 6 plus 2 stitches, then add 2 side needles. A total of 4 additional stitches are enough. The first line of the pattern is the front line. Double edge stitch. 4 up. Okay, it's always been like this, 2 down, 4 up. Loop down like this. Loop to the end and knit 2 more lower needles. This is the extra needle. Knit 2 lower needles. The sides are symmetrical. Keep doing this in a loop. 2 down, 4 up, good. The first line is 2 down, 4 up and down to the end. Knit 2 more needles. And the last stitch is the knitting. The first line is done. The second line, the third and fourth lines are both root weaving. The second line is the needles. 2 up and 4 down. You can knit whatever needle it is. The third line is the same as the first line. The second and fourth lines are the same. Just remember to knit. Circle weaving is also root weaving. You can knit whatever needle it is. Finish lines 1 to 4 by yourself. After the fourth line is woven, it looks like this. 2 down, 4 up, 2 down, 4 up cycle like this. So here's the fifth line. Knitting. And then the needle is going to count from 1234 like this. In this one, pick out a pull needle. Look, after plugging it in like this. Point out a lower needle to lengthen the thread. Okay. After elongation, this needle should be hung backhand like this. On the left stick, then these 2 knits and the bottom half knit 1, 2 and 1, and then you pull another needle out of this. Come. Okay, here's a little bit longer. Still hang like this. Hang like this. Let this coil follow and knit the second half of the needle. In this way, 2 and 1 are fine. Okay, then go straight to 4. Okay, just keep going like this. And I'm going to do that one more time. That is, this coil is plugged in. It's the last line of the last flower. Look inside the eye of the needle. Plug it in here. Pick it out and hang it like this. After hanging up 2 to 1. Okay, then pick another one. Hang up the same way. Then they can do a 2 and a 1. Continue to knit a needle, the back is 4, and it keeps cycling down like this. Loop to the last 2 stitches. It is also necessary to knit such a ring, because he also has 2 needles. Just knit like this. The fifth line is good, the fifth line is done after knitting. Now knit the 6th row. Side stitches. These are the 2 stitches of the latte flower. Do a top right 2-pin crossover. What about this one on the edge of this edge needle? The next 3 stitches. Do a top left needle crossover. The 2 lower needles on the left. Cross like this. After crossing, knit all the needles. The whole line, the whole stitch. What about circling? This line is also normally crossed. Knit the needle after crossing. Cross these 2 stitches with this one. Okay, after the crossing is done, the needle is still knitted. And that's the way it goes. Do a 2-pin crossover first. Cross over to the next needle. Then do the cross of the upper right stitches. That is to say, the 4 upper needles woven from the front, Separated separately, across of the upper left 2 stitches, across of the upper right 2 needles and the 2 lower needles. It's the one that pulls the needle for knitting. The whole line is crossed and the needles are all knitted. Just keep cycling like this. That is to say, in addition to the braided one on the head. The first stitch is the knitting needle, because there is no crossable sum on his side. Last knitting needle. Everything else is crossed like this. Okay, so that's the last stitch crossed. You see the remaining one, just knit the needle. Then the needles. This is the weaving method for line 6. Lines 7 to 12. Actually the same as lines 1-6. It's just that the location has changed a little. Let me tell you about the needle arrangement on line 7. Side needle 3. 3 upper needles. These 2 needles are twice. In fact, these 2 lower needles were moved over. Look at it this way. Did you see it? The 2 needles moved over are still under the needle. The rest is the needle. So that's 3 up and 2 down. Bottom row or top 4. Twice. Just loop down. The loop is also 3 upper needles in the end. Okay, there are only 3 upper needles left. It's the same as at the beginning. He is symmetrical. And the last stitch is the knitting. This is the weaving method of the 7th row. And then line 8. The 9th line and the 10th line are all root weaving. How about line 11? Just like the weaving method of the 5th row, the 12th row is the same as the 6th row. It's just that its location is different. I won't hide it later. The weaving method has been demonstrated in the first 6 lines. This pattern is pretty, because this place is like a little chrysanthemum. But what about after it passes the latte flower? It forms a little diamond. This floral blanket is also better, because it's a pattern on the front. So it would be nice to knit a thread blanket. On the reverse side, this pattern is not messy and looks good. So that's it for today. Do you like it? If you like it, collect it.